Hello, this is Faith at Faith and Books, and I thought I would do a garden update. I haven't done one in maybe 3 weeks, and I'm doing it at a different time than I usually do. Usually I do it in the morning, very early in the morning, but right now I'm all by myself, which is very unusual. I'm just hanging out. It's about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And so, first of all, that's our compost, and for some reason they did not pick it up today. It's been sitting on the porch since last night. So I don't know what's up with that. This is our volunteer pumpkin. We always because we put our Halloween pumpkin here on the front porch, and then it always rots a bit, and so we always get a volunteer pumpkin right there. So there it is, and it always looks really healthy. We got a huge pumpkin last year, so pumpkins just like to grow in that spot. Anyway, I'm in my front yard. These are my native turtle heads. They're white turtle heads. They are not blooming yet. These are my Lenten Roses. Those are native. These are not. I'll just walk around this way. I forget what these bushes are. Amber something or another. There's some kind of native thing. I'm not sure. But here the purple cone flowers are starting to come up now. We've had a really late spring. It's been very cool. We've had a beautiful week. We've had rain, but the weather, the temperatures have been on the cooler side. And this way it's been all spring, except for a couple of days here and there where it suddenly spiked up into the 90s. Like these are my hydrangeas. I planted these maybe, I don't know, 15 years ago, and they're just starting to bloom. They're about 3 weeks late. That one isn't blooming yet. So yeah, so it's just been a weird spring. This is supposed to be my herb garden. This is thyme. Look at the weeds. I'm gonna pull out. This is like this nutsedge stuff. Pull that out. Anyway, this is thyme. But here's some more. But I gotta weed this area. But I keep trying to grow rosemary here, and it just never takes. And then this is a very awkward garden because it's got this wall here. See, and I have to hoist myself up to get anywhere. And it just hasn't worked. I need things to be right along here. Yeah, I need to change this. I had sage, but it's like behind this pomegranate tree, so I can't access it without like having to step up a couple of feet on this wall. It's not designed well, and I need to redo it. And then we have these gorgeous St. John's wort, the bush kind of variety, and it's finally blooming. It's also late, but it is blooming. But you see, like back there's just this patch of weeds. That's where my oregano is, but I can't even get to it. So I just don't like the way this area is, and I kind of abandoned it, but I want to redesign it so that I can actually use it as an herb garden. The first year or so, I really liked it, but it just didn't work. So anyway, now we're here in this really bad weedy. These are my strawberry patch, and this is what did me in. Oh, look at this! Look, you see? You see? You see? There's a strawberry. So even though it's covered with weeds, we've still got quite a lot of strawberries from it, and I have to freeze them. We've been having some smoothies with it, but I've got to freeze them. We also have some wild. Do you see that? Those are wild strawberries growing. There's so many weeds in here. It's pretty bad. This is this oriental bittersweet that is this invasive species that is taking down the trees in my area. I want to get rid of. This is some kind of weedy, but I think it's like related to aster. This is my asparagus tree. I always forget that we have asparagus in here, and I never harvest them in time. So then I get these big asparagus. They're not really trees, bushes. Yeah. So I want to do a final harvest of all the strawberries, and then you can see all this clover too. And then after we harvest them, we're gonna mow it down, and I'm going to put up raised beds and raise strawberries that way. Because this was what did me in last summer when I got my really, really bad sciatica. That like crippled me for weeks and weeks. You can see all this ground ivy is in there. This is just replete with weeds. But we still got quite a lot of strawberries, as you can see. Let's see, I think my neighbors might be out in their yard. I can walk down here because it's a little bit drier. It's rained so much. But our poor peach trees are really not doing well. Look at how yellow the leaves are. Look, it's June, what is today? June 10th? So something's going on with these. They're, I didn't do enough in the spring. I couldn't save them. They're diseased and they're very brittle, you see. And then we had that terrible freeze, and then we only got a few peaches, and then they all rotted. So the peaches were in another bad year with peaches, and we really have to rethink what we're doing with them. But this is, oh, what is this right here? This is, what is it called? I always forget what this bush is called. It's really good for pollinators. Something like, it's got the word pepper in it. I don't know. Anyway, here are my radishes that have gone to flower. They're kind of pretty. I didn't really harvest anything. They didn't really develop roots. At least the last time I checked, they hadn't. But they're also marking where I planted parsnips. So we're going to see about that. Parsnips take a really long time, so I don't think I harvest them until the fall. I just planted these. I grew these from seed. These are bell peppers. And I just transplanted them this week. And then I also have some zinnias planted in there. Look, I just left this one. I abandoned it. These tomatoes aren't doing so well, and I really need to weed them and maybe I'll compost around them. I think these are cherry tomatoes. But look at this. So we have a bunny. Do you see what this bunny did? It dug up. Can you see that? Wait, let me see if I can get closer. Come on. Don't do it. There you go. Do you see that? The bunny dug up my carrot. Let's see. Let me pull this up. Here's that. Yeah. So carrots take a long time too. But yeah, so that bunny's been after. So I tried to fence the yard against bunnies, but we have bunny rabbits living in our front yard, I think. I see one almost every morning. The other morning I stepped out really early and there was this weird noise. It was a fox barking at me, but I couldn't see it. But yeah, so there's a carrot that a bunny tried to dig up. So there's more carrots. So I'm gonna plant more carrots because carrots are the one thing everybody eats around here. And then here, I'm trying something new. None of my broccoli took off, but I planted Malabar spinach, which is not technically spinach. It is, you can't tell, I just put the seeds in this. Was it yesterday? It might have been yesterday. But what is this? Right here. Anyway, so, but you're supposed to trellis it. It's a vine, and it tastes like spinach, and it's a vegetable from India, or like warmer climates. And I'm going to try it this year. I'm going to see if I have to get a trellis for it. Let's see. These are the pepper bushes. That's what they're called, pepper bush. And behind them, you can see the aronia berries, and they're blooming. See? I have so many aronia berry bushes. I really have too many. I don't want quite so many, but they're native and they are sturdy, and the berries are not sweet, but they're very, very nutritious. So, I don't know. But yeah, look at this. We're getting a lot of berries. They're very prolific. And then that tree back there is my persimmon tree. Doesn't it look beautiful? They're very late coming out. Like I thought it was dead all through March and early April, but now it's just coming out really well. Let me see if I can go around to it. Can I walk through? One of the problems with this garden is I can't get through to places. Okay, we're just gonna look at it from afar. So that's one, And then that's a little one. And then that tree back there that looked so dead earlier, that's a chestnut. We've never gotten any chestnuts from that tree. But one day, maybe we will. One day maybe we'll get persimmons. Let me see if there's fruit on those persimmons. I think I see something. Well, before I walk down there, this is my Three Sisters experiment. So I planted squash. Where is it? Right there. So that's coming up. And that's corn. And more corn. And more corn. And more corn. There's a little toad hopping through there. And more corn and squash. And once the corn grows a little higher, oh, there's a spider. There's a spider. Do you see it? Once the corn grows up a little bit more, I'm going to plant some beans. So I'm kind of excited about that. Ah, man, I cannot get to this stuff here is called India hemp, and it's really toxic. But the Native Americans used it to make rope. But I don't want it in my garden. Consider the weed. And there's the Oriental Bittersweet, that vine over there. But I gotta get down to this persimmon tree. It looks beautiful. It's looking beautiful. Isn't it? Oh, look at that. Look at that. Do you see that? Can you see that? Oh my goodness, we're gonna get persimmons. Can you see that? I don't know if you can see, but the fruit is forming. Oh my gosh, that is so exciting. Tell my husband. One thing that's really nice is my husband's been getting really, really into the gardening this year, more so than ever before. It was always sort of my thing, and then he was just sort of vaguely interested. But this year he's been getting really into it. Look at that fruit forming on my persimmon tree. Oh, I'm so excited. Oh my gosh. That is amazing. Let me come down here and look at my chestnut tree. This is my chestnut tree. I never come down this far. Okay, I don't know what to look for. Where do you find nuts? I mean, I know they don't come in until the fall anyway. But oh my, it's really grown. Wow, that's exciting. That's super exciting. Okay, let's see if I can get back through this jungle here. So this is comfrey. Comfrey is really wonderful, wonderful plant for everything. And we can see all the daffodils have died. This is a horrible weed right there called horse nettle. It's got horrible stickers on it. I hate that thing. This is yarrow. There's a lot of weeds there too. Here's that India hemp. There's that horse nettle again, right there. Hate that stuff. And this is false blue indigo, so you can use these pods to make dye. Which I've never done, but I could if I wanted to. This is hyssop right here. All right, let me go through here and get back. So there's my Three Sisters bed. I'm really excited about it. I do think there's quite a number of tiny little toads hopping through that. All right, so let's go up here. This is my tomato bed, and I've got some garlic, and I planted these, and I'm not sure. I know I planted a lot of Amish paste. I think a lot of this is Amish paste with a couple of salad tomatoes thrown in as well. So yeah, that's my tomato bed, and they're doing pretty well. When I planted them, the next week it just rained and was really cold, and I thought they were going to die, but they've come back. So it's really, we actually mulched it. I got this teenager to come. He's only come once, but he's coming again next week. And hard worker. And he just did what I told him. It was great. He really helped me a lot. Then this is also garlic, and it's got these nice, what do you call these? Scapes. I think they call them garlic scapes. And I might harvest these. I was watching a YouTube video where they harvest it, and it doesn't affect the bulb that you're eventually going to get at the bottom. But yeah, I heard them described as Dr. Seussian, and that made me smile. They are kind of like these crazy, swoopy shapes. And then I planted these cucumbers, and again, it was really cold, and I thought they had all died. I really did. They came back. I just ignored them for a couple of weeks. Look, that one has a flower on it. This one did. That one's got a flower on it. Oh, man. So for some reason, I really planted a lot of cucumbers this year. I sort of went cucumber happy. I don't know why. This, I'm just keeping this broccoli up because it's been so cool. But you can see how eaten they are, and none of them have set. No, none of them have started to form a center. I'm just keeping them for the critters to eat, I guess. And I gotta figure out what to plant along here. What was I gonna plant there? The thing is, I was growing all these things from seed, and I couldn't imagine where I was gonna put it all because I only have 5 raised beds, right? And now, I can't figure out what I'm gonna put there. So somehow it seemed like so much. And the thing is, you don't transplant every single thing you grow because there's another toad. Do you see the toad? Can you see the toad? Hello, friend. There you go. I don't know if you can see it. Anyway, so let's see. So our cherry trees. I'm gonna take a bite of this strawberry here. Our cherry trees. They had some cherries. They made it through the killing frost, but then it rained for a couple of days just before they were going to get ripe. We kept coming out here and saying, not quite ripe enough, not quite ripe. And then it rained for 2 days, and when we came out in the morning, they were completely stripped of cherries. And this one isn't doing so well either. Look at the color of its leaves. So yeah, something's going on with these trees. Fruit trees are hard, man. They're really hard to figure out. But we had a really nice surprise. Where's some? I'm still eating the strawberry. And you can see some of them are still on there. This sour cherry bush, we've always ignored it. It's like 5 years old. The cherries were always really small, and they just had big pits in them. But this year, we've had so many that I'm not even a baker. I baked a cherry crumble, like gluten-free. It was delicious. And I'm actually harvesting, and my husband bought a pitter, and we've pitted so many cherries, and I made cherry pie filling, and I froze it. So I feel like a real homesteader that I'm doing that kind of stuff. See? These aren't quite as red. Well, it's pretty red. Those aren't. Those don't look. This could ripen a little bit more. But we've gotten so much off of this bush, and we weren't even expecting it. So it was nice. It kind of made up for the fact that we lost our sweet cherries. We at least got our sour cherries, and sour cherries are quite delicious. I like them. I didn't know I liked them. And this is a blueberry bush, and look at that. Look at that. We're getting some blueberries. And see, they're still, it's still green there. Oh, I think I have this. Oh my, did I ruin everything? I had it on close-up all that time. I'm so sorry. So you can see it's turning purple, but it's still a little bit green there. Look, this one's nice and purple. Is that pretty good? Yeah, that's pretty good. I'm gonna eat that one. See? Can you see it? Yeah. Good. Yeah, so we're gonna get blueberries. This bush is starting to turn. Maybe tomorrow morning I'll come out and really work through that. Try to harvest some. Yeah, there's another one. And then I had so many tomato plants. I stuck some of them in pots, and they're doing okay. I think I have to keep remembering to fertilize them. And this is my green stalk that I split. These things are not, I don't know, those aren't growing right there. But these are my strawberries. Haven't gotten any strawberries yet. I think they're a little stressed from all the cool weather. Oh, but look. Look. There's a little strawberry. Can you see that? There's a little strawberry growing right there. Yeah. So, and then, silly me, look, I planted nasturtiums, and then I planted dill. Oh man, I was a mess, and I didn't plant anything in these. The day I was working on that, I was like, I could barely function that day. I don't know what was wrong with me. I know I planted some cress. I think this might be cress down here. I really like cress, like watercress and that kind of stuff. I love the taste of it. It's really clean tasting. Here's more tomatoes that aren't doing so well, frankly. And then let's see. Oh look, we got a nice bumblebee. Oh, sorry. Do you see the bumblebee on the blackberries? So our thornless blackberries are flowering. They had not flowered last year. It was just a scrawny little, seedling when I planted it. So it's looking good. There's a bee enjoying it. So that's exciting. We'll put blackberries later in the year. And then here's my mint, not doing so well. I think I need to fertilize. And here is lemon balm. This is catmint. And then I stuck another tomato in here, and look, it's got a little bloom. So it's happy here, next to the lemon balm. And then over here, oh, here's another. We have so many toads. It's a good year. It's a really good year. There's another one. It's really neat. We have a pair of green herons living in the trees up there somewhere. I've seen them 3 times now. Sometimes they'll fly right through my yard. Once I saw it. Yeah, it's kind of cool. This is potatoes. They're doing well. And then these are my sweet potatoes. And they look terrible when I got them in the mail. But look at them. They are so happy. I'm getting used to having this raised bed. And the truth is, I think raised beds are in my future. Because I just cannot get on the ground anymore. It just hurts my back way, way too much. Here's another aronia berry. But these aronia berries, unfortunately, are not looking so good. They've been choked out by the oriental bittersweet. I didn't realize it. But one thing that's really neat is this plant here. No, this is wineberry, so that's an invasive species that I want to get rid of. But this right here, maybe that's more wineberry. It kind of looks like it. I wonder if it is. Yeah, that might be. But when I looked at it before, it said that it was muscadine. So it was, like a native, I think it's a native grape. But that really looks to me like it could be more. I have to check and see what that is. Because wineberry is another invasive that's growing out there. That's trying to get into my garden. And you can see all along the fence line, that's Japanese stiltgrass down there. Yeah, that's the world's worst. So many weeds. I'm always battling weeds. Yeah, this bush doesn't look so good, and it's also got the oriental bittersweet growing up. So yeah, when the high schooler comes, we're gonna set up our different projects here to work on to clean up the garden. One thing that's neat is I have a lot of sweet cherries. There's another toad. A tiny toad there. There you go. Anyway, yeah, these little sweet cherry trees trying to grow up. They're from here. And so I'm wondering, can I dig them up and give them to somebody? That would be kind of cool. I would do that. And then this is the tulip poplar trying to grow up. I don't really want a tulip poplar right there. So, yeah. So that is the state of this garden in the backyard. Let me walk over here. I'm eating cherries. Here are I'm picking. And as you can see, we got the 2 buff Orpingtons, and they just peck, yeah, there you go. They just peck at and chase these red sex-link ones. The red sex-link ones lay eggs like you wouldn't believe. Big eggs. They lay it almost every day. So they lay bigger eggs and more often. But look at them, they just keep. Here, have some cherries. Have a carrot. There you go. Eat that carrot. I want to distract them. So, oh, there's the next door neighbors. So, okay, I won't go out. I want to, but they're out there, so I don't want to. See, they're out there. But I just want to tell you that right here, one morning I came out and there was a snapping turtle. See that little round spot right there? Laying eggs there. So I put up this little border thing, and it's our little turtle sanctuary. And I looked it up, and it takes 80 to 90 days for their eggs to hatch. So about mid to late August, if all goes well, if no critter digs them up and eats them, we should see baby snapping turtles. That's so amazing. Yeah. And we have a lot of, I'll show you the side garden another time because I've talked long enough. All right, okay, chickens, I gotta feed them and see if they've laid any eggs. All right, talk to you later. I hope you're doing well. And I do plan to do a review this weekend on an actual book. Yeah, so that's something to look forward to. All right, take care.